and welcome to workout 4. So it's dumbbells today and some core afterwards. There is also the option to use your TheraBands if you don't have dumbbells. So this is our playlist for today, and if you can access that on Spotify. So starting off then, just gonna jiggle out those joints, nice gentle semicircles of those necks now. And then working through those arm joints, gradually lifting those arms, keeping your shoulders down still. All the time, just thinking about graceful movements. So reaching up towards the sky now, one side, and then stretch the other side. Just like you're getting out of bed. There's something to be said for this. It just helps to gap those vertebrae, which is a really energizing stretch. Okay, and then just wiggle those legs a bit again. Lovely. Okay, make it a little bit more dynamic now. So we're going to do a squat to one side, and then just sort of squeeze those shoulder blades together as you take those arms nice and wide. Keeping it bouncy, just going as deep as you need at this first beginning point. You can always go a little bit lower as you warm into it. And now a bit of coordination. You're just going to do a grapevine. So the key here is just to really try and twist that spine as much as possible. Again, very energizing to do twisting spinal stretches, and then stretching those glutes by reaching that knee to the opposite elbow. Step and kick now, making it as bouncy and dynamic as the spirit moves you. Okay, bending forward, trying to keep those legs and back straight, but bending if you need. And then this is downward dog, where you're going to stretch through those calves. So just push alternate heels to the floor, and then slowly jump the feet in and roll up again, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, into some lunges now, this time with the chest opening again, making sure the knee stays over the feet. There's no dropping in. Good stuff. Again, adding a bit more of a bounce if you want. Hopefully starting to get a little bit warm now. Great work, guys. Sweeping through now. So deep breath in and then breathing out as you go down, and then in as those arms come up. And then here, just reaching towards the opposite foot and just gradually reaching higher and higher as you go now. And then the side kick. Also just bringing those arms into a bit of a kind of a circular motion. But it's mainly about trying to get that leg horizontal. Okay, folding forward now. Back into that down dog stretch there. So just pumping alternate heels to the floor. Love this stretch. It's just so good to get the whole of that back chain. And ready for those dumbbells now. So this is just a generic playlist as ever. Hope you like my taste in music. Okay, so just watch these demos to start with. As ever, option 2 is if you can't bend your knees due to some sort of injury. Okay, option to switch arms at the top there as well. If you only have a TheraBand, then just stand on that band and then just hold on to the band with both hands and try to keep it quite sort of central. Okay, off we go. That's good stuff, guys. So whichever option you go for, keeping a really nice straight back, and it's almost like you're jumping that weight up. Yeah, so there's not actually much work done by the arms. They just guide the weight or the band. Yeah, it's all coming from powerful jumping and extending those hips. Well done, guys. Keep going, last 20 seconds. Lovely, lovely. Keep it flowing, keep breathing. Just coming to just above shoulder height. Fantastic. Okay, so 30 seconds rest now. Either a one arm row in a deep lunge position, or just keeping those legs a little bit straighter. So you might feel it a bit more in the hamstring on that option 2 as well. But the key points here are just to keep that back nice and straight and keeping the elbow in towards the side of the body. Good stuff. So notice straight line in option 1 from the shoulder to the hips to the ankle. Slight more of a bend in option 2, but the back is staying nice and straight. Elbows in, making sure that we're not twisting too much. Just a slight twist at the end of the movement. Otherwise, shoulders stay parallel to the floor. Great work, guys. Last 20 seconds. Just making sure that the head stays in line with the spine as well, so there's no excess tension into those shoulders and necks. Last few seconds. Okay, so into a 30-second rest now. These are just the demos as ever. So we're just doing a split lunge or sliders. Now, the key point to notice here is that there's a little pause with option 2 as you bring those feet forward. Okay, so it's not just straight forward and back. There's a pause and then you bring the other foot forward. So it's a pause in the middle. Okay, similar to obviously option 1 there as well. You jump into the middle and then take the other foot forward. Good stuff. So if you're doing this with a TheraBand, then just holding that TheraBand in your hands as you take those arms overhead and pull the band apart a little bit as it goes over your head. Yeah, just making sure you drive straight up with those arms so you don't put any extra tension through the back. And if you're doing option 2, just make sure that those shoulders stay over your wrists. Good stuff. Last 10 seconds, guys. Really nice. 2, 1. Okay, and rest time. Back to the second side now. Sorry, I forgot to remind you to remember which side you did, but hopefully you can more or less remember. Back into those lunges. Just making sure you have that nice strong alignment through the spine. Ready, let's go. Okay, so back stays straight, elbows stays in. And option 1, just make sure that knee is over the ankle as well. Just coordinate your breathing by breathing out as you bring that arm up and then in as you slowly lower it down. It's fast up and slow down. Again, band option, hopefully you might have figured one out, but if you put your band underneath that front foot and then just pull back, either with 1 or 2 strands of the band, depending on how strong you're feeling or how tight your band is. Okay, last 5 seconds coming up. That's good. Just keep that control now, guys, as it starts to burn. Okay, 30 seconds recovery. Nearly there now. We're nearly there. So tiptoe walks here, guys. Yep. Obviously, both the same here now because option 2 is if you have bad knees, but hopefully everybody should be able to do this. Obviously, you can do it without a weight above your head as well. A real key thing on this one is to make sure there's no excessive arching in your back. So really try to make sure that that pelvis is nice and upright. Imagine that you've got water in that pelvis and you don't want to tilt it forward and tip that out. So that'll just help to engage that core much more. Notice how shoulders stay away from those ears. So even though you're lifting those arms up, just keep that poise, keep that nice long neck. Nice and light, so you're up on those tiptoes if possible. If it gets too much, then just go down onto a flat foot. Nearly there now, guys. 15 seconds to go, last little bit. Actually fairly hard to balance on this one as well, so really good one for proprioception. Posh word for balance. Keep going. Okay, well done, guys. So obviously feel free to go back through that routine. I would often do it 3 times, but otherwise we're going to go into our core section now. So Goosebumps is our track, and you're just going to start by reaching and touching the outside of your foot. Just keeping that head raised off the floor, and now touching the inside of the foot, the same foot. Okay, so that's just increasing that range of motion a little bit more. And then if you can, if you've got that range of motion, then reach through and touch the opposite foot now. Nice work, guys, nice work. Again, it'll start to feel stiff in your neck at this point, but just keep going, okay? Coming and sitting up now. I call this one boats, and it's where you just twist onto one bum cheek and then onto the other. And just as you go, take those legs with you and just swing from side to side. You can use those arms to support you as much as you want, and then just into some nice light chinnies here. So notice how back stays pretty straight, and you just bounce away. So real core overload here now, but just use those hands as much as you need to help you. Okay, option here to come up into this bridge, but if that's too much, guys, then literally just keep your back on the floor. That's absolutely fine, because you'll still really work that core just by doing this scissor kick here now. Notice that there's a little bounce at the end as well, so open and bounce. Just 3 little bounces, and then into some really big cycling motions here now. Well done, well done. Going round. Now into scissors, also with a bit of a pulse there, so open and then roll back down. Back into those boats then for this chorus. It's really good, guys. Just really dig deep now. Use those arms if you need on those thighs, that's fine, but otherwise just get into that flow, get into that bounce. And now runners, well, chinnies I call this, but it's like a running sit up. Go on, keep going. Just lying back on the floor a bit more. We'll just challenge you that bit more, but just really go for it. And well done. Okay, you have most definitely earned your stretch now. Unless you want to go back and do that track again. Okay, so playlist again. Just actually, I fast forward the first bit of this song just to get past the speaking. So just join in with the song on this stretch here as she starts to sing. Okay, tricep stretch to start with, and then switch arms. Deep breaths there, just keep those elbows high. Sitting on those heels, so you'll also stretch through those feet. Now, legs forward, just taking the knee to the opposite shoulder and just twisting towards that bent leg, but keep looking forward, okay? Quite often we're told to follow the twist with your head, but actually just having a bit of a counter twist in the head will really stretch out that spine that little bit more. Okay, bit of an advanced stretch here now, so just adapt this as you need, but you want to get that sense of arching and just draping that top leg back. So we're just going to come down now, so pushing those hips forward, stretching out those hip flexors, and then gracefully draping the body. Awesome work, guys. Okay, so other side now. twisting towards that front knee and then looking forward. Just noticing where you feel the tightness in the spine. Just watching and observing with your mind's eye that tension releasing, giving it permission to let go. And then chorus again here now. So that's it, draping the body, draping the body. Try not to put any weight on that top leg. Okay, so it just balances lightly behind you. Hips forward. And then here, just smoothly moving from seated up into a reverse tabletop. So trying to get the body nice and flat, pulling through those heels using those hamstrings. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky in that, yeah, again, if you can't reach all the way around, then don't, but you bend a leg up, then take the same arm to the inside of that leg and then reach around the back and try to link your hands behind your back. Just really opens up into the hip much more so on this one. And then switch sides, so coming inside, round and back, and just by nodding your head forward, it just opens up the vertebrae in your back, but also stretches those nerves. Option just to twist that straight leg in and out as well. Just making these stretches your own as well, guys. Really good. Okay, legs wide now, and then just reaching forward. Little rocks from side to side. Stretches should never hurt though, okay? So bend those knees if you need to, or don't bend quite so far forward. Little twists with those legs, toes in and out. Like I say, just making it your own. Now we're going to go into a series of twists, okay? So just twist, twist, reach. Call this like the hurdle stretch, okay? And as you're twisting in the middle there though, just making sure that the spine is really nice and tall, so that you have a strong axis around which to rotate. So yeah, keep that coordination. And then twisting around with those arms a little bit straighter, but a bit slower now. One way and then the other. This is an amazing stretch for the side of the body now. But just taking your time, going as low as what you can with your own flexibility. Just making sure as much as possible that you're going from side to side and not bending forwards as well. Okay, rolling back down onto the mat, nice and flat, taking those arms and legs wide. And again, just twisting those toes in and out so that you're twisting the whole legs up in their hip sockets and just creating that movement that we quite often neglect. And little shakes of those legs. Little jiggles of those hips. Allow your body just to relax into the floor. Awesome work, guys. Really impressive stuff. So yeah, have a little relax now if you want. Otherwise, yeah, well done. Great work.